Hey, God? God, can I talk to you for a second?
Damn it, Jeffrey, I'm really freaking busy right now. I'm working on something important.
Okay, it's just that, like, 1,000 people just prayed for this little 3-year-old girl's cancer to get better, and I was just thinking maybe if you could come up with an answer soon.
Let her die. It's more mysterious. Now leave me alone.
Oh, wait, God, John Smith just made a prayer to, win the lottery.
John Smith. Isn't he that child molester?
Yeah, that'd be him.
What the hell? Let him have it. Now don't bump me. Because of some bad enchiladas. I'm sorry about the Crusades, and jihad, and the Inquisition, and witch burnings, and suicide bombers, and people who blind the buildings. I'm sorry for deliberately destroying your self-esteem by asserting that you are wicked.
God? It's awfully quiet. Too quiet. Blocked. Why am I not surprised? Holy crap, what the hell has he been drinking? Tempered over burning witch. Some powerful shit. Looks like it was on YouTube. What the hell?
So, to Thunderfoot and other YouTube users,
Yeah. I've seen it all before.
The contents of this apology are true and accurate. My username on YouTube is VenomFangX. As many of you may know, there
You're gonna be fine.
What if I'm not? What if I die and then I have to live with the fact I was a dick to you like a jillion times?
Look, don't worry about
I'm in love with you.
You are also shitface.
I can be both.
Archer.
And I might die tomorrow. So I really don't think I should be alone tonight. You plana. Did I mention I have cancer? Awesome.
Roseanne Barr is a legendary comedian, activist, and political activist. In an open letter she wrote recently, she had tried to pressure the Saudi government for the arrest of Prince Bandar bin Sultan for his role in the 9/11 attacks. See, according to 2002, there's incontrovertible evidence the Saudi government not only knew about the hijackers, but helped them financially and logistically. I first asked Roseanne what the reason could be, possibly, for the U.S. government going after almost every other country except the one it knew was in part responsible.
Well, that's why before when I was on here with you, we talked about MK Ultra mind control, and I said, I may not have said it on your show, but in a subsequent speech I did say, what MK Ultra does is train people never to blame the guilty. instead to point the finger downward at the helpless and never the public money that they're taking. And that just gets me because I don't like criminals. And, I have 5 grandsons, and how am I going to tell them, hey, kids, crime pays? I don't want to do that. So I get from our government, they have said it on your show, but in a subsequent speech I did say, what MK Ultra mind control does is train people never to blame the guilty. Instead, to point the finger downward at the helpless and never upward at the guilty. But, and people in America are just, and it's public's money. It's the public money that they're taking. And that just gets me because I don't like criminals. And, I have 5 grandsons, and how am I going to tell them, hey, kids, crime pays? I don't want to do that. And so I would like to see the guilty punished. And when we have a clear record of who the guilty are, and we don't ever hold them accountable, no wonder we have kids going nuts in schools. I mean, seriously, we need some moral structure. I think that the whole thing is falling. I think it's falling, and even to fight with it is giving it energy. The thing I like to look at, Abby, is how women all over the world, of course, after everything's decimated and there's no tribal rights to any land left at all for people, but women at the most crisis level in the world begin to rise and change things.
Well, let's talk about women really quickly.
I just hold to that. I hold that so deep and so close.
I know you do.
I know that we can do it. I know we can do it when we're not raped, beaten, murdered, held down. When we're given a fair education, the chance, we'll do it.
Roseanne, according to the Department of Justice, 90% of violent crime is committed by men. What do you think accounts for this enormous gender disparity when it comes to violent crime?
Oh, well, you don't want to get me started on that because I make lefties mad when I start on that. But, it's all about patriarchy, but it's about patriarchal mothers, too. And I'm tired of people saying it's all men or it's all women. Women are raising these boys to do that. And there's no lie about it. Let's not lie about that anymore. Women, like the Spartan mothers, held up the shield to their sons that were going to war and said, come back holding the shield or laying under it. I mean, women are the ones who really need to be real honest, take their place, stop supporting war, stop supporting punishing other women. Stop it. Stop being a patriarchal bot. And, let's invent something new. We can do it.
And I was speaking to a gender expert yesterday who said that the culture of this overt militarism, especially in America, is due to gender indoctrination, kind of what you're talking about, that patriarchy, and that male leaders continue with this rhetoric because they're afraid of being emasculated. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Royalty invented a feudal system, and everybody under their class is a breeder that, gives birth to the soldiers and, that do their work for them. So, they needed to have a clear binary, women and men, so they can push that I call it the wedding military-industrial complex. Actually, my boyfriend Johnny made that up. But, they got to keep breeders going because where are they going to get these kids to send off to their wars and molest and stuff? They have to create that. So they created these clear gender things for their slaves and their serfs. And, they get a wedding and, then they're happy. They're a princess for a day. Then they go back to the fields, It's mind control. It's feudal, land baron, capitalism, mind control, patriarchy. It's completely obsolete. It's funny when you look at it how ridiculously corrupt it is. And it's hilarious, too, because it's so psychotic. But, we just have to keep laughing it to scorn and watch it die. It doesn't have any place to go now. I think now it's like eating its own tail. I mean, the whole Saudi Arabia, all royal family, 911 Bush, all of it, it's eating its own tail. And everybody's like, truther? You're a truther. You know, when idiots are calling brilliant people stupid, you got a real problem.
Yeah, Roseanne, I find it amazing, this kind of pejorative term truther for seeking the truth. And I mean, we've been saying that Saudi Arabia was involved from the very beginning. We were called crazy.
19 of
and
them
now
were
look at how
fraud.
validated we are.
It's House of Saud, works with House of Windsor, works with the Vatican, works with Rothschild. It's all one big friggin' mafia scam. I mean, I'll probably get assassinated or droned when I'm out of here, but it's all a scam, a tired effing scam. These guys are such geniuses, these money geniuses. Here's how smart they are, Abby. They made money obsolete. It's ridiculous. They're stupid. It's so stupid. I can't stand when stupid people keep, like, winning. I just can't take it. I don't know. I just can't take it.
Yeah, no. And Roseanne, give us some advice here. I mean, your views on so much has attracted a flurry of trolls. What's your message to all the haters who call you crazy for speaking your mind?
I say intelligence looks like insanity to drooling imbeciles.
Well, Roseanne,
I mean, people better show up. People better show up, start reading, stop being bought off. If you only have an hour a day, read something intelligent. Read several sources. You know, educate yourself. Find out what's going on. Don't stay asleep or go deeper into the mind control, because it will get worse for you.
Right, I like how you said all these institutions are completely outdated, they're irrelevant, and yes, we need to break out of this paradox.
I mean, look, Abby, I know, Abby, they all lead to one thing: nuclear annihilation, this death. I mean, already we have to be, like, really honest, too, and really truthful about what does it mean when, you know, there's a Chernobyl and a Fukushima. I mean, you know, really, is it that we are so on our way out because we've already had all those nuclear wars, the equivalent of all those nuclear wars we say we want to prevent? Maybe it's already happened. Maybe the fish are dying. Maybe the birds are dying. Maybe the coral reefs are dying. Maybe there's no, you know, there are water shortages now. Maybe all that stuff is the die is already cast and we're on our way out. We're headed for extinction. And a few people who know that at the top are taking advantage of it and, you know, hoarding everything they can hoard and, you know, getting a big sadistic thrill out of tricking people.
And you have to wonder, I mean, do these people even know at this point what they're doing? Are they just perpetuating the system to maximize their bottom lines? I mean, these corporate overlords that run our country.
I don't think they know what they're doing. I think they follow orders only. I think they have little intelligence, and, you know, they have handlers. And, you know, those are the corporations and the big money that owns our government, you know, the real owners of this country. And, you know, they tell their servants and whores what they want and how to provide it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that is the reality. That's the real big reality.
Roseanne, I have got to ask you about rumors of this new porn deal that you signed. I mean, you tweeted. Is this for real?
I didn't sign it. You know, they did contact me because I said, you know, I couldn't get a job, and so I said, I guess I'm gonna have to do.
By his own word, Rick is the smartest man in the universe. Or to put it more correctly, Ricks are supposed to be the smartest men in the multiverse. Is the unified intelligence of millions of Ricks what kept the Citadel of Ricks together when the
porn and, you know, geriatric porn.
And the Council of Ricks was murdered instead of the Citadel collapsing like the Galactic Federation? No, it wasn't. Even if there was some kind of solidarity between all of the Ricks in the Citadel, if the Ricklantis mix-up taught us anything, it's that hyper-intelligence doesn't always mean you pull out ahead. Usually, there are other forces at play, especially if you're in a situation that makes you feel stuck. Hey everyone, I'm Justin with Channel Frederator, and today on Cartoon Conspiracy, we're going deep down into the psyche of the Citadel of Ricks to figure out what glued it together in the absence of leadership, but how it's still falling apart.
And they did contact me, and
So here's what we know. The Citadel of Rix is a large city-state originally created to hide Rick from their many enemies speckled around the multiverse. Since its inception, the population of the Citadel has burst from the thousands to the millions, but that population consists solely of Ricks and Mortys from different dimensions. The Citadel of Rix was originally an oligarchy government by an elite few not elected by the citizenry. However, the council was under the thumb of the Shadow Council of Rix, made up of 9 highly successful businessman Ricks.
I just thought that was cool of them to offer me a job, but, you know, I'm going to be thinking about what would be the most pornographic movie ever made, and I am giving a lot of thought to it.
I like that you... Business Ricks. Then, Rick C-137, our Rick, teleported to the Citadel into a federal prison and murdered the Council of Ricks. Next time we see the Citadel, it's in the process of rebuilding and has become a democracy on the precipice of its first presidential election. In a gigantic upset, the Morty party...
Said it would be shot from
I think it would star Bandar Bush.
It would star Bandar Bush. You said it would be shot from a distinctly Jewish grandmother's point of view, satiating the immeasurable hunger of consumers of porn once and for all. I mean, I have to ask you, why do you think that there is this narrative that women don't like or watch porn, and that all female porn stars must be forced into the
it wins the race. However, for the Citadel, new Morty president just so happens to be our much-awaited evil Morty, last seen puppeting an evil Rick in Close Encounters of the Rick Kind. Evil Morty kills all but 2 of the Shadow Council and establishes what looks like an awful lot like a totalitarian dictatorship. Now, there's 2 questions this summation leaves behind. 1, why did the Citadel dissolve when the Council of Ricks was murdered? And 2, where do we go from here? Turn all the lights down now. Why the Citadel didn't make like the Galactic Federation and collapse is an unsurprisingly complicated question. It's tempting to go for more fantastical dystopian answers. For example, what if the impossible flavor of your own completion or the taste of shattering the grand illusion that makes up simple Ricks is some kind of massive population sedative, like Soma in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World? And in case you forgot your high school literature classes, Soma was a drug made by the government that allowed the user to forget pain and unpleasant emotions and enhance feelings of well-being. The government used it to suppress its